When I arrived at the University of Cincinnati, I had always heard the name Jim Kelly, but wasn't sure what Jim Kelly was all about. And I can tell you this with all sincerity that I've met few people in my life like Jim Kelly. And what he's meant to the student athletes, specifically the football players that have been under his watch over so many years, it really brings a tear to your eye.
Jim Kelly is the reason I ended up going to the University of Cincinnati. He recruited me, and I think what intrigued me is it was much more, I think he saw things in me that I didn't see. And he picked me, among other guys, that our senior year in high school, to attend the University of Cincinnati. And that started a friendship that lasted probably over 40 years.
Jim Kelly had a record-setting athletic career at the University of Cincinnati, but he's remembered more for the impact he had after he took off his cleats.
I think he really loved coaching. He loved teaching. He got out of coaching probably 10 years after I left and got more into administration, but I think his true love was coaching and working with the student athletes.
He loved the kids. He never forgot anybody's name. That's what he was probably put on this earth to do, was to coach and help everybody out.
And when coaching was no longer in the cards for Jim, he couldn't leave UC. He found other ways to touch student athletes.
He did a number of things that just became part of the university and part of the athletic department. One was his great involvement with the C Club, which is a letterman's club that he kept going personally for something like 35 years. It's still going, but under a different kind of organization. He was very, very instrumental in something called the Captain's Breakfast, which he monitored for probably 30 years.
I can tell you that I am fortunate to attend our football captain's breakfast every weekend for the spring football game, and the focus of that really is Jim Kelly and another UC icon, Glenn Sample. And the reverence that those former football players hold for Jim Kelly is just awe-inspiring. I've never seen anything like it.
Whenever the university had a need, Jim Kelly filled it.
He also had a lot to do with the renovating of Nippert prior, back in 1992, and he was also in charge of all the facilities when he was in administration. He was also in charge of the Shoemaker Center for a couple years that he did after he retired.
Jim never really retired from the University of Cincinnati. His name lives on today in many ways, and to many he was and is the true representation of the sea.
Oh, he loved being a Bearcat. That's his pride and joy. He always wore his pin. He always wore his letterman's jacket, sweater, and he loved being a Bearcat.
In memory of Coach Kelly, who passed away in January of 2009, the University of Cincinnati Alumni Association is proud to present his Alumni Distinguished Service Award to the Kelly family in his honor.